and compound sentences. Read the sentence. The boy launched the paper airplane. Who is this sentence about? Did you answer the boy? If so, you know the subject of the sentence. Next, what is the action in the sentence? Did you answer launched? If so, you know the verb in the sentence. Finally, does the sentence express a complete idea, a complete thought? If you answered yes, you are correct. The sentence does express a complete thought. So, what is a sentence? Well, in order to fully understand sentence patterns like simple and compound sentences, you must first know the three basic components of a sentence. Number one, the subject tells the reader who or what the sentence is about. The subject must be a noun or a pronoun, and there can be more than one subject. More than one subject is called a compound subject. Number two, the verb. The verb in a sentence can either be an action verb or linking verb. An action verb is a verb like swim, run, or work. A linking verb is a verb like is, are, was, or were. Verbs can also be in phrase form, like was running or is swimming. Finally, number three, a sentence must express a complete idea so that it can stand alone. And remember, sentences always end with a period. If a group of words is missing a subject or verb, or it does not express a complete idea, it is not a sentence. It's a phrase or a sentence fragment. Complete sentences may include a variety of different types of phrases. However, a phrase cannot stand alone. Let's review some common phrases. First, there is a prepositional phrase. Prepositions often state location or time, like the example in the house. Next, there are participial phrases. Look for an ing or ed ending for clues of a participial phrase. One example is fearing failure. Another example is feared lost. Noun phrases are another common type of phrase. A noun phrase can function as the subject of a sentence, but it cannot stand alone. One example is the big scary dog. The noun is dog, and the words big and scary are adjectives to describe the dog. Then there are verb phrases. Verb phrases can be the verb in a complete sentence, but again, they cannot stand alone. One example is will have been awarded. Finally, there are infinitive phrases. An infinitive phrase has the word to followed by a verb. These phrases are not the verb in a sentence. Remember, phrases are mere sentence fragments, not complete sentences. So be sure you are always writing in complete sentences in formal, academic, and professional writing. The next concept to discuss are clauses. A clause is a group of words that contains both a subject and a verb. There are two types of clauses. An independent clause is a clause that can stand alone and expresses a complete thought. An independent clause is a complete sentence, like our example sentence from the beginning, the boy launched the paper airplane. The focus of this lesson will be on how to use independent clauses for simple and compound sentences. Another type of clause, a dependent clause, does not express a complete thought and cannot stand alone. Additionally, dependent clauses begin with a subordinate conjunction. Some examples of subordinate conjunctions are while, if, when, because. An example of a dependent clause is when the boy launched the paper airplane. The subordinate conjunction is when the subject is boy, the verb is launched. The clause, therefore, is dependent and it cannot stand alone. We will discuss more about dependent clauses in a lesson on complex sentences. Now let's discuss the different types of sentences and sentence patterns. The first type of sentence we will review is a simple sentence. A simple sentence is one independent clause. We will abbreviate a simple sentence as I see. We abbreviate a simple sentence as I see. However, a simple sentence may have a compound subject or verb. A compound subject or verb means more than one. Also, simple sentences may also contain one or more phrases. Simple doesn't mean short. Simple means one independent clauses. Let's look at the example of simple sentences. The boy launched the paper airplane. The subject of the sentence is boy. The verb is launched. There's a prepositional phrase out the window. But in all, this is one independent clause. The next example, the boy and his father found the airplane outside. The compound subject is the boy and his father. The verb is found. It is still one independent clause with a compound subject. The last sentence, the boy searched for and found the plane outside. The subject is boy, the first verb is searched, and the second verb is found. So there is a compound verb, but it is still one independent clause. All three sentences are simple sentences because they contain just one independent clause that can stand alone. Now we will look at compound sentences. Compound sentences are named as such because they contain two or more independent clauses. One example of a compound sentence is, the boy launched the paper airplane, but it smashed into the wall. Notice this compound sentence is composed of two independent clauses connected by the word the, but. Thus, compound sentences must be joined together using proper punctuation and joining words. There are three basic patterns for compound sentences, and we will review each type. The first compound sentence pattern is abbreviated IC, CC, Two independent clauses joined with a comma and a coordinate conjunction, which is abbreviated CC. There are 7 coordinate conjunctions: for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. An easy trick to recall the 7 coordinate conjunctions is the word fanboys, an acronym made up of the first letter of each of the coordinate conjunctions. To connect two independent clauses using a coordinate conjunction, you must place a comma before the conjunction. An example of a compound sentence using a coordinate conjunction is, the boy launched the paper airplane, but it smashed into the wall. The first independent clause is, the boy launched the paper airplane. The subject, boy, the verb, launched. So it is a independent clause. The second independent clause is, it smashed into the wall. The subject is the pronoun it, which refers back to the airplane. The verb is smashed. So again, it is an independent clause. The coordinate conjunction is but, and notice the comma. Also, a note about the word and. And is used in many ways in sentences. Just because you see the word, it doesn't automatically mean a comma is needed. For example, the boy and his father found the airplane outside. No comma is needed because this is a simple sentence. The word and is just joining the compound subject. So I do not need a comma. If I look at the second sentence, the boy found the paper airplane and his father repaired it. In this situation, I do need a comma because I am connecting two independent clauses, connecting two complete sentences. The next compound sentence pattern is abbreviated IC semicolon IC. Here we have two independent clauses joined with a semicolon. This compound sentence does not have any joining words, just the punctuation mark. This pattern should only be used to join two closely related independent clauses, and this pattern should be used sparingly. Let's look at the example sentence. The boy launched the paper airplane. It smashed into the wall. In the example of this sentence pattern, the two independent clauses are the same as our previous example. The first independent clause is the boy launched the paper airplane. The second independent clause is it smashed into the wall. Notice the semicolon between the two clauses. And I know where the break between the clauses are because I have a new subject and a new verb, hence a new independent clause. The last compound sentence pattern is abbreviated IC semicolon transition comma IC. This is two independent clauses joined with a semicolon, followed by a transition word or expression, followed by a comma. Some common transition words or expressions are however, moreover, for example, therefore, nevertheless. In the example of this sentence pattern, the two independent clauses are the same as our previous example. The first independent clause is the boy launched the paper airplane. The second independent clause is it smashed into the wall. The transition word linking the two clauses is however. However indicates a contrast between the first clause and the second clause. It is important that the transition word used in this sentence pattern makes logical sense given the meaning of the two clauses. To ensure you are using a variety of sentence patterns in your writing, follow these tips. First, if you're not sure what type of sentence pattern you are using, label the parts of the sentence. First, identify the subjects and verbs so you know where the independent clauses are. Look for coordinate conjunctions between clauses, or look for transition words and expressions between clauses. Finally, punctuate all sentences properly. Let's do two examples together. DTCC has more than 20 clubs on campus. Therefore, students can find one that fits their interest. Let's annotate this sentence to figure out the pattern and see if we need to edit it for punctuation. First, the subject, DTCC. The verb is the linking verb, has. The rest is a complete thought. More than 20 clubs on campus. This is the first independent clause. I see another subject, students, followed by the verb phrase, can find. The rest of the complete thought is one that fits their interest. This is the second independent clause. So I know I have a compound sentence. The joining word is therefore. It is a transition word, so I need to edit the sentence and add a semicolon before the therefore and a comma afterwards. Now my sentence is written correctly. Students can stay connected to campus by liking us on Facebook or following us on Instagram or Twitter. The subject of this sentence is students. The verb is a phrase, can stay connected. Then there are numerous phrases that add to the complete idea. Now I see a conjunction, I see two conjunctions, the word or. I do not want to automatically assume I have a compound sentence. I need to ask myself whether or not I have a second clause after the coordinating conjunction. Is the word following a subject? No, it is not. Since I don't have another subject and I don't have another verb following the conjunction or, I do not have a second independent clause. So in this case, this is just one independent clause, which makes it a simple sentence. Please see your instructor with any questions. Thank you.